close are you really to catching him? Murdering 4 innocent people? You can't hide forever! It's over!
Yeah, I just wanted to say I really enjoyed the film. I reminded me of Fincher's Seven in many ways, and lots of other kind of similar films, and it was yeah, really grateful to be able to watch it. So this is the first film I believe that you co-wrote. Do you mind telling me a little bit about how this film came to fruition?
Yeah, I mean, I'm such a great fan of the genre. I like you said, Seven and Zodiac and Bone Collector and whatnot, and even Silence of the Lambs for that matter of fact. But yeah, I love the genre, and I always had this idea in my head, you know, with the twists it had, and I just felt that everything we watch, it's very, the kind of there's been two or three come out on Netflix recently in the last few months, and I just feel that they're very similar all the time, and I just felt like, how do we get out that? I think it's just one thing out the UK right now, what they're doing really well is these UK crime dramas. And
Mhm.
I thought, well, if you can incorporate the UK crime drama in a serial killer kind of movie, then it just makes it different. But you've got to keep the colourful palette of talent. It's got to
Mhm.
be it's still got to be at that level, and but just bring some grit into it. And I always thought that, well, you have movies like Trainspotting that are just pure grit, but what they kind of lack is the Americanized commercial side of it. So
Mhm.
how do you merge that and do an awesome crime thriller that keeps you on your seat, that's has both one. I thought that the challenge was a vessel to get it there.
No, I definitely think you kind of married those two ideas together really well. It does have that grit, but also that like American pulpy side to it too. So in this film, you're trading lines with Samuel Jackson, Vincent Cassell, and you're really standing your ground against these guys in lots of big scenes. I wanted to ask what was it like to yeah trade lines with them, work with them on this film?
As I said before, like you never get, I don't get starstruck. You walk in there and you think, well, it's a, they're legends. They're absolutely heavy hitters, and you know Sam Jackson's one of the most charismatic men on the planet. And I think he boasts the greatest box office.
Yeah, right.
So you're like, all right, and then there's me, so you're like, there's Sam, there's Vince, and then there's me. So, but you can't look at it that way. You've got to turn up, and the wise words of James Caan, there's nothing more boring than an actor talking about his acting. But without talking about acting, it's like my character was very, had so much vulnerability in it.
Mhm.
And after losing a child, and certain aspects I could relate to, and you whereas their characters, it was just a really good eclectic mix. But
Mhm.
working with those two, just Vince is just so cool. He's cool and collective, and we would have dinner or a couple of drinks after, and they tell and discuss things and chat about life. And Sam's just a charismatic man, and he's really what an honor to work with those two.
No, I yeah, they were fantastic in the movie. You were fantastic in the movie, and I appreciate how humble you are and saying that your character really is the lead. I did want to talk about the kind of vulnerability side of things, if you don't mind. So this character is someone who has a traumatic past, and without getting into spoilers, the movie is very difficult for this character. What was it like to get into the headspace of that character, and did you find that to be difficult?
I, if I told you this, and I've not mentioned this in any previous interview, I lost I was raised raised when I was a young child by my grandmother, and I lost my grandmother about a month before filming started. So there was a lot of vulnerability there, and I brought that. You've no choice. You've just got to roll up your sleeves and get on with it. Um, and I think the funeral was towards the end of February, and I think we were shooting in March. So you just have to carry that with you. And yeah, it was real life, real life.
I'm sorry, I'm really sorry to hear that and how that. came right before the film. Um, Speaking of the film, you were able though to film in Scotland, your native home country. What was that like to film on location there?
It was such an honor because you're usually sent to places like Alabama or
Right,
Louisiana,
right.
Kentucky, and there's nothing wrong with these places. Mississippi, and there's nothing wrong with these places at all. And I actually enjoy because I get to see different parts of the world. Whether
Mm,
it's Bulgaria, Turkey, whatever. And some places are nicer than others. But it was just so nice to be able to go back home and do something there and actually um, see family at night
mm.
and see friends and actually involve certain friends and I'd a friend go, "Hey, what are you doing tomorrow? I'm doing this bar scene. Do you want to come and sit in the background?" And they're like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah." And it was great because they don't really get to. I don't really shoot much in Scotland,
Mm.
so it was good to show them like what your work day looks like.
Yeah.
It was really good. It was good.
Yeah, I guess it's one thing to travel the world and see these all, exotic locations. It's another, there's nothing like home, right? And that's nothing like home. I guess a last question if I have at the moment. So I was really intrigued with this film. I think the thing that really stood out for me was the twist. And I, again, don't want to get into spoilers of that, but it's such a good twist and it's so well executed. It really catches you off guard. I wanted to get your thoughts kind of as not only an actor, but as a co-writer on this film, how you crafted that twist and made it both kind of approachable and unexpected, but not to be so heightened as to take the viewer out of the film.
I think, well, when you're going through the process and you have certain people you trust to read and they'll read it and then they'll turn around and say, "I knew it was that person from that page," and you go, right, how do you turn this on its head? And you think, well, there's other possible avenues you can go down, and then you start to think, and because it's one of those ones where it could be one of a multiple. It's like one of
Right.
those movies that I don't know that who done it kind of movies.
Yeah.
At the same point, it's not that it's a serial killer movie, but it could be anybody within that movie. It really could. It could be one of many people. So, and I always loved the episode of Game of Thrones and Red Wedding, and for me, it's about just evoking that emotion where as soon as there's some sort of comfortability with an audience and they think, got it, you just pull that rug away and they
Yeah.
fall on their arse and they have to rethink again, So, I that was one of the things that I really loved about the script.
Everything you just said there encapsulated my viewing experience because I thought I had a grasp on what was going to happen, and then yeah, the rug gets pulled out from under you.